The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming along. Can you do me a favor? Drop a note in the chat box. Just let me know you can hear me okay, and let me know that you can see my screen. So you should be able to see a like the Convertri dashboard with a funnel with one page in it. Yep, I've got a loud and clear from Eric. I've got a yes from Dave. Yeah, that's all good. Hey Tonya, hey Tony, hey Christina, hey Barrington, Joel. Oh yeah, there's loads of people on today. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, how many of you have been to one of these getting started calls before? I think I see a couple of familiar names. Dave's been to one, Tony hasn't. Oh, and Amanda watched a recording, so like you get the live performance now. You get to see me screw it up like in real time. Okay, excellent. So for everyone who hasn't been to one of these before, I'm Neil. I'm one of the co-founders of Convertri. If we just go to the Convertri website, I'll just go to the this is the About Us page. That is me there. I am the one in that slightly battered red hat. It is an excellent hat, though. I love it to bits. The guy next to me is Andy. He's my business partner, and basically he's the tech guy. So he's responsible for an awful lot of like the stuff you're using. And what we do in these calls, let's say this is designed as a getting started call for people who possibly have just started with Convertri or people who haven't used it for a while, or anyone who's just not that confident in getting to grips with the editor. What we're going to do is I'm going to build a lead funnel completely from scratch. And that's basically a simple funnel where someone can, like they can come to your squeeze page, they can sign up to your list. They will then get redirected to a thank you page where they will be able to download your lead magnet. And we're going to be building the entire thing just from scratch here. After that, I'm going to show you some of my favorite hacks for using the editor and making it like just making it easy to use. Because I use Convertri an awful lot. I use it pretty much every day for company stuff, for my own projects. And so obviously because I use it a lot, like there's things that I know to do that aren't always entirely obvious to a new user. So I'll be going through a few of those that make my life an awful lot easier. After that, we'll be doing just a general Q&A session. So I'll hang around for basically as long as my voice holds out. You can ask me anything you want. Like you can ask me about Convertri, about marketing, about whatever. I know quite a lot about birds. Like if you're into those, I'm happy to answer any questions you got on seagulls. No, I can't promise I'll answer everything, but I'll do my best. I will also be keeping an eye on the chat box, like as we go through the demo. So if like I'm moving a bit too fast, or if there's something you want to see again, then, or even if you've just got any question about what I'm doing, then like drop a question like in the chat box. Let's say I'll try and keep an eye on it on the way through, and like clarify things as we go. It will, because I'll be building the page at the same time. It's only going to be like half an eye on it. So if you think I've missed your question, then please do feel free to add it again. Obviously, if like we get to the end of the demo and I haven't answered it, then feel free to just like keep adding it into the chat until I actually spot it. Only thing I would ask is that if you've got a question on something that isn't related to the demo, if you can just save that until the end when we're doing the general Q&A, it'll keep us on track a lot easier. So are there any questions before we get going? Errol is asking, so which of you is Fletch? I guess that's Andy. Yes, Andy Fletcher is his name, so that one is Fletch. Yeah, that guy at the back. Greg saying, really interested in how to capture leads with forms, linking the button with the autoresponder and so on. That's good, because that's exactly what we're going to show you. Bertie's saying, can I speak slowly? I will try my best. Okay, let's crack on. So the demo, just say I'm expecting that to take like probably 30 to 40 minutes, thereabouts. And then obviously, like I say, the questions at the end will just carry on until either you're out of questions or I'm out of speaking ability. So we are going to build a simple squeeze page to start off. And in fact, we are going to build something like this page. Right? In the best Blue Peter tradition, here is one I made earlier. Now we're not going to clone it exactly. We're just going to go for something that looks kind of like it. And so the first thing we're going to do is create a new page. I'll do that by clicking the new page button in that corner. This opens the page template selector, and you can see there's a load of pages to choose from. If you want to have a look at any of these templates before you use them, you can click on the preview button, and that'll let you see like what the template looks like. We're not going to use a template for this demo. Like I say, we're going to build it completely from scratch. So to open a blank page, we can do that by clicking the Create a Page from Scratch button, which is this blue one in the top right. So we'll just give that a name, call that opt-in. And we now have our empty page. Hey, Marcia, another first time. There are actually quite a few people here who are just, like, this is their first call they've been on. Can I just check, actually, what kind of level with Convertri do you feel like you've got? Like on a scale from like 0 to 10? Cool, we got as zeros, ones, zeros. Oh, Joel's about a 5. You're one of the experts in the room here at the moment. Yeah, 0, 1, 4, 0. Again, 1. Yeah, there's plenty of 1s and 2s in there. So yeah, it definitely feels like a like the kind of thing that like this will be useful for. So okay, so what we're going to do to start with is, if I just go back to like the page we're mimicking, what we're going to do to start with is we're going to add this big background image. And I'm going to do that by by dragging in the image element from the elements toolbar here. Now this opens this opens the media gallery, which will have every image in there which like you've used on the account in the past. Like you can see, these are all a load of images that I've used here already. Now the woman one we've got is actually already here, but I'm going to remove that so you can see how the upload process works. Now you can also search from Pixabay if you don't have images of your own. So if you click the Search Pixabay just below the Media Gallery button, and you can type in anything you want here. But give me a word. What should we search for? We have snake. The suggestion is snake. Okay, let's try that and see what's in there. So yeah, let's say Pixabay gives you a load of really high quality images. It's a very good service. Now, I'm not going to get a picture from the Pixabay API here. And the reason I'm not going to do that is because when you're using the API, Pixabay limit the size of the image that you can download. I'm not sure if you can see that easily on your screen at the moment, but it's got the size at the bottom of 1920 by 1280. However, if you actually go to Pixabay and download the image, then you can get a far higher resolution. So I'm going to drag on the image that I got earlier, which is that woman one. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the file, just drop it on the media gallery like that, and you'll see it's uploading. And you can also see here the resolution of this one, because I downloaded it, is like it's 5,000 by 3,500 pixels. It is a huge image, and it's a very big file. It's something like 4 megabytes. Now, this is something that normally you would never want an image that big on a web page. It would just take far too long to load. But because Convertri does all the optimization to make the images go really quickly, or just load really quickly, then you can afford to have as big a resolution as you like and get all the detail, which is why, like, when I'm doing it, I tend to actually download the images rather than using the search feature. So we'll just click select to add that into the page. So there we are, we have our image. Now I'm going to make it full width by clicking on the full width button in the quick actions toolbar up here. And we're just going to increase the size. We'll maybe drag that up there a bit and pull this down. Maybe a bit more, just get a bit more of her on there. Now you see, I don't have like precise sizes for this. Like I don't have like the specific size of this image that I'm going for. All I'm doing is like judging it by eye, like resizing the image up and down until I think it looks good. And now we'll add on these backing panels. We'll do that by, again, taking the panel element from the Elements toolbar. And we'll size that just to go in the top. Again, make it full width. Now we want to change the background color. So with the panel selected, we have the Properties panel open here. We'll click on Background, then the background fill color. And we can slide this around however we like, and you can see it update on the page, so you can see how it's going to look. So we want it's kind of orangey beige on that other page, so it's something like that. So yeah, I think that's close enough. Now we want another panel at the bottom, so I'm going to select the one we just made. I'm going to click on Clone, again in the Quick Actions toolbar. That creates a copy of the image, or the panel in this case. So we'll drag that down, and we'll make this one a bit larger. And then we're just getting the drag handles and dragging it down until it's the size we want. So now we have our canvas for the page. See, that's all there. Okay, the one I've got on the one we're building at the moment is a bit darker, but I think it's fine. So what we're going to do now is we are going to make this panel with the text and the form on it. So we'll go back to the editor. And the first thing I'm going to do is, again, we'll take that panel element and we'll just drag one on. And that's like there-ish. And I'm really not worrying too much about the precise position of any elements at the moment at all. All I'm doing is getting the elements on the page, and then we will arrange them as we want, once they're all there. So next we're going to add the text. And we have a special text element here at the, again, top of the Elements toolbar. So we'll drag that on. And we can just click in to open the cursor. And you can see when we're ready to type, we've got the Quick Actions toolbar turns into the text toolbar, where it's got the formatting options and the font and so on. So now we can just type in our copy straight in to the editor. And we'll make another text element. Whoops. There's one thing you do need to be careful of sometimes, and which I will turn the element outlines on so we can avoid it happening. Actually, if you're not careful, if you can have that element selected, if you actually a bit outside when you start to drag, then you'll get the backing panel rather than the element you want. If you have the element outlines switched on, so that's from the display menu and this toggle here, then you can see far easier what like where your elements are on the page. And these hot pink outlines, they won't publish, like they won't appear on the publish page at all. It's just a way for you to be able to tell easily how your page is being constructed. So we'll type in the main text of the page now. Can't remember entirely what this said, but it's something like this. And then we've got two more bits of text. So the enter your details below and the anti-spam text at the bottom. So we'll just add those in as well. And you'll do this exactly the same way. I say really not worrying about position at all at the moment. They're just going like roughly in the right area. So now we've got the text on the page, we want to make it look good. And you can do this, and you can do it element by element, so doing each element individually. Again, when you're in an element, you can highlight the text. You can see you have the text toolbar at the top here, and you can change the font, you can change the size, you can change the color. But I prefer to do this through default styles rather than doing it through the individual element. And to do that, you can go to the page menu at the top, and then click the Default Text Styles tab. And this will let you set styles for the paragraph and 2 levels of headings. So let's change the font family of the paragraph style to Lato, because I quite like that font. And the font weight and the font size is fine. I'm going to increase the line spacing to, I think, 1.8. I like quite a lot of white space on the between the lines on the page because I think it makes the text a lot more readable. And being readable is just very important for conversions. Like if people can't read your text, they're not going to make the effort for it. So that's done. And you see, because we did that through default styles rather than by doing it in individual elements, every element or every text element on the page has updated. Like we don't have to do each element on its own if we do it that way. This makes it very easy to change your page later on, because if we decide that, actually, we don't want Lato, let's have a different font. Let's say we decide to use Playball instead. Then you can just change every element at once. You can see very, very quickly how your page is going to look with a new style. It's quite good for like making quick updates, like editing templates in this way, or just seeing, like trying out a couple of different design ideas. Now, we are definitely not going to use Playball for this page because, as I was saying before, you really need your text to be readable, and this is not a readable font. So we are going to go back to Lato. Okay. We can also set different text styles for headings. So to do that, we'll go back into the default styles pane. We'll go to the heading 1 tab. And for this one, we're going to use Noto Sans. We're going to keep it bold. We'll take the size down a bit. We'll make that 24. The line spacing is fine on this one. And we'll click Done. And you'll see on the page, nothing has changed. And that's because none of these text boxes are currently using the heading 1 style. However, we can change that we'll select the text that we want to change. We'll go to More, click H1. And that has now taken all the styles that we just set. So the other thing we want to do is make these smaller because we don't want that text that big. These ones, because this is just specific to the text box, I don't want like every text element to change in this way. I'm going to do this at the element level. So we'll just make that 12 and center it. Same again for this one. And now we want to get our form on the page. Again, not worrying about the positioning yet. We'll sort that out once all the elements are there. So to do this, we go to the Form Elements menu in the Elements toolbar, and we're going to want a first name field, and we're going to want an email field, and we're going to want a Submit button. Now you can see here we've got some preset fields for first name, last name, and email because those are the most commonly captured bits of information, but you're not limited to just those bits of information. There's also just a custom text input where you can capture anything you want. So we'll just arrange these roughly on the page. And now we're going to change the style of the placeholder text. And again, we'll go into the Properties panel. We'll go into Input Properties, and we'll change the font family to Lato so it matches the body text. And we'll take the size down a bit, we'll make it 14. And then we'll do the same on the first name field. And now we want to get all these lined up nicely. And you might think on a freeform editor like Convertri is that can be quite hard. But it's actually very, very simple. We'll just make a bit of space. Put you down a bit so none of these are overlapping. We'll shrink the size of that panel. We don't want it quite that wide, I think. And now we can use Convertri's alignment tools to get all these looking nice. So with this backing panel selected, we'll go to the alignment options, which is this button on the Quick Actions toolbar. You see there's a little drop-down arrow with the different options available. First, we will click on Center Align, and that will snap everything into the center. Then we want to nicely lay out these form fields. So we'll select all three of them. We'll hold down Shift and select all the different elements. So that's all three of those selected. Then we'll go back to the alignment options. We'll select Distribute Vertically, which just spaces everything evenly between the first and last element. Just turn element outlines off so we can see it easier. And that's there, that's pretty much done. I'll just use the arrow keys to push this up very slightly, so you can just get some fine adjustments that way. But it's really that simple to lay things out. Now, the last thing we want to do with the look of the page is, you can see this one, or this backing panel, it's got these beveled edges on the corner, and it's a bit transparent. So we're going to make our panel do that as well. And we're going to do that again in the Properties panel. First, we will change the background from the default gray. We'll make it pure white. Oops, not quite done there yet. Then we can adjust the transparency with this slider on the right. So we can, if we want, we can make it fully transparent. Obviously, we don't quite want that. We just want it so the background is just showing through slightly. So let's go for, yeah, that looks about right. And then the borders, we can adjust by clicking on the Border tab and changing the border radius. I'm going to go with 20. There, and now we are, oh no, we're not quite done yet. There is one thing I forgot, and that is the privacy policy link at the bottom. So we'll just drag on another text element. We'll add in the text, and you can see that's automatically taking the default style. that we set earlier. Center that, push it down. And you can see the snap lines here are like showing me that I've got it vertically centered. I can, if I want, like select the backing panel and use these options, so I can set like middle line there. If it wasn't already centered, that would snap it to the center. Now we'll add a link by going into the text toolbar. We'll click the hyperlink button up here, and we can just type our link in here. Does, of course, help if I can spell. And we can set that to open in a new tab because we don't really want people like navigating away from the page if they do click this link. So that's our desktop version, pretty much done in roughly 20 minutes. And we'll just have a quick look at the mobile one as well. So this is the automatic version that Convertri gives you, again, which is, I think, probably pretty close to what we're after. One thing I might do is take down the size of the text here. You can see again we've got a default mobile text scaling size, which again you can adjust element by element, but this is another thing I like to do through the default styles. So our default font scaling is 150. I'm going to take that down to 125. And now we'll go back to the mobile view, and you can see not only is this one smaller, but these ones have also shrunk as well because they've taken that from the default style. And that is the look of our first page completely done. What we haven't done yet is wire up the form. We will do that after we've made the thank you page, and I'll show you why just in a bit. Can I just check, are there any questions before I move on? Tassie saying, would you comment upon the font scaling for mobile? Like, how does that alter the viewing on a mobile device, and are there preferred percentages for various mobile devices? Okay, so the way Convertri's mobile system works is it uses a method of scaling, which means that this, like what you're seeing here, this is what will always be shown on like the mobile screen, regardless of the size of it. So like I've got like my phone is a Note 10 Plus. It's about as big as a smartphone can get. It will show like this here. My old phone was a Samsung S6. It will still show exactly the same content, just shrunk down to that size of the screen. This is one reason our default was originally set at, still is set at 150% for the font size. Because of the difference between mobile resolutions and desktop resolutions, 150% means that the font size on your mobile is going to be roughly the same as the font size like on a normal desktop monitor. Now these days phones are getting a bit bigger, so especially on stuff like my Note 10, I find it's generally worth shrinking it a bit. But it doesn't make a whole huge amount of difference. Like I like at the moment about 125% for the body text. I still like 150% for the headlines like this because you really want those to be big and bold and stand out. But to be honest, it's entirely what you prefer on the page. Like as long as the text is readable, and that's going to be far more about how it works against the background. Like this is one reason why we've got this like opacity layer. That's going to make far more difference than like little differences in the size of the text on the screen. Hillary's asking, is the privacy policy somewhere in Convertri or do we provide our own? It's always best for you to provide your own. The reason for that is basically, obviously, Convertri is used by people all over the world. Like I don't know where you live. It'd be a little bit creepy if I did. But like because I don't know where you live, I don't know where you do business. Like we can't guarantee that we would put everything in a template privacy policy that you would need to put in there. So it's far better for you to find like a template you can use online or get something written like for your business for what you need and using that. VJ is asking, is the mobile version automatically created from the desktop version? Yes, mobile is automatically generated, and then you can adjust it however you want. Let's say if you want to, let's say we don't want that on there at all. We can just drag the whole thing off. If we want, say that text, if we decided that we were going to have the form at the top and we were going to put the text underneath, then we can do changes like that. And if we go back to desktop, like that's not affected. So it's taken, like the automatic generation is taken from the desktop view. But then you can make your adjustments, and those adjustments won't affect how the desktop looks. So we'll just put that back. Marcy is asking, is there a replay of this in Convertri that we can refer to? There will be a replay of this webinar. We are recording the call. It'll go in the knowledge base. But there is a replay of the one we did last time. That's in there already. So I'll just grab that link for you. So that's I'm just going to drop that in the chat box. So let's say this one, like there will be a replay of this call. Like you'll be able to refer to it. Like it'll be in the knowledge base probably by Tuesday, and you'll be able to refer to it whenever you want. But there's also this one like available right now. Errol says, I think even I could do that. You make it look so easy. Honestly, it really is that simple. Like obviously I've been doing this quite a lot. I've got some practice at using Convertri now, but I really do think it's one of the most simple editors out there. Jer, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Is there a discrepancy between the mobile view versus an iPhone? No, there shouldn't be. You should be looking at this on like any phone screen. Which view gets displayed, so whether it's mobile or desktop, depends on the width and the resolution of the screen. So iPads, for example, they will generally show a scaled version of the desktop page. Some of the larger smartphones, if you switch them onto landscape, because they're big, like especially again ones like my Note 10, if you switch that onto landscape, that'll show the desktop page. But that just depends on the screen size. It's based on like whichever people are most likely to find easiest to read based on the size of the screen they're looking at. Constance is asking, is there a standard privacy policy statement or template out there somewhere? Honestly, there are loads, and we don't provide them ourselves because we're not legal people. It wouldn't really be a good idea. But if you put like privacy policy template into Google, then you will find plenty. Joe's asking, what is the best way to check and fix it? I'm not really sure what you're referring to there. Sorry. Branislav, again, hope I'm pronouncing that right, is asking, how can I make simple opt-in lead magnet thank you page with just changing the picture and text? For that, you want to use one of our templates rather than build from scratch. If you were here at the start, you saw like we've got a load of templates in the template collection. And so you can choose any one of those. You can just swap out the text and images for what you want. I'm showing you how to build a page from scratch because it's a lot easier to show you like the different features that Convertri has that way. Sarah says, still don't see a separate chat box. I assume you mean on the like for GoToWebinar for the link I put in there. I've got to be honest, I'm not entirely sure where that's found, if it's one that you're watching. If anyone has that, if they can like drop a note in there, I will pass that on to Sarah. Hillary's saying, regarding the privacy policy, where would we store it on Convertri for current and future use? What we did, in fact, what we still do for the privacy policy that we use on our page, I've just got a funnel that I call legal pages. I have the pages in there, like convertri.com/privacy policy. That is just where it is, and then we just link out to that whenever we need it. Errol's asking, what's the name of the speaker? I am Neil Merton. I'm one of the co-founders of Convertri. Let's say if you go to the About Us page, I'm the one there in the hat. And in fact, if I scroll down here far enough, that's me there. Still wearing a hat, because honestly, I just never take that thing off. Laura's asking if she has templates. Yes, every Convertri plan has some templates. VJ's asking, how do we link to the customized privacy policy? For that, you can just add a text link. You can see I've already added one on here, but if we highlight the text that we want to make a link, then there is a hyperlink button in the text toolbar up here. And if we click that, you can just type in the link that you want it to link to. You can set whether you want it to open it in a new tab, which I generally do for something like this. You can also set if you want it to pass on the parameters, and then just hit save, and that's all you need to do. Baranislav, I think I've answered you now. Please do ask the question again if I've missed it. Greg's saying, can I do an example of using a template to get a page done quickly, just changing a couple of pictures and text? Yeah, probably. Not sure if I'll be able to do it on this call, but I can certainly set up I can probably set up another training call where we run through how to adapt the templates. Actually, once we're done building this funnel out, I'll show you how to quickly swap images out and change the text on this. In fact, that'll probably do the same job. Sarah, Patricia is saying, look for the floating toolbar and then click on the red arrow at the top. That will open the chat box. Thank you very much, Patricia. Oh, and Tassie as well, saying the same thing. Constance is asking, what is the pass on parameters? That is to do with query strings. It's a bit of an advanced topic. Honestly, it's one of these things that if you don't know what they are, you don't really need to care about them. But basically, it's a way of passing on extra information from one page to another in your funnel. VJ is asking, where is the privacy policy hosted? Is it on Convertri under a subdomain? We put ours, we just host ours on Convertri. You can put yours wherever you want and just link out to it. I mean, some people just make them PDFs, just put the PDF either on S3 or on Convertri and link out to them that way. Frank is asking, how much does Convertri cost and are there any promotions? Oh, we can, in fact, show you that now. So these are our plans. So you can see the prices of the different plans there. Obviously, those are if you pay annually. You can pay monthly if you want. Costs a little bit more, but not very much. I'm not sure if we've got any offers running or not at the moment, but if you email support@convertri.com, they'll be able to tell you. Laura's asking, are the pages stored in the cloud or on our own laptop? They're in the cloud. Basically, we've got a custom-built CDN, which is one of the ways that we deliver, like that we make the pages load really quickly. Like we've done quite a lot of work in like really tweaking that hosting and making it just lightning fast. So everything just goes on that, and that's just all included. Okay, I'm going to take a swig of water and then get on with the rest of the demo. So next thing we are going to do is make a thank you page. And once we've done that, we will come back and connect the form. So first thing is we'll save that. And we'll go back to our funnel. Now for the thank you page, I'm just going to do something that is very similar to this one. So I'm going to clone this page as a starting point. So it's going to the three-dot menu on the card, clicking clone. We type in the name here. And we get a copy of the page. So actually, this is possibly a good place to demonstrate how to adjust templates, because this is you'll basically be doing exactly the same thing, like taking a pre-built page and editing it. So let's, first of all, we'll just adjust the text. And we'll do that because all our templates are built in Convertri, so you've got just as much control over them as you would have if you built it like this. There's nothing in them that isn't editable. So we'll just change the text like that. Now for this one, we're going to want a button because we're going to want something for people to click so they can download download the report. But we're not going to need the rest of this stuff, so we're just going to delete all that. And then I'm just selecting it, and I'm literally just hitting the delete key on my keyboard. There's also the delete button up here if you prefer to do everything in the editor. I'll just make that a bit smaller. So to change the image at the back, we'll select the image here. Go to Element Properties, and we'll click on the Change Image tab right at the top. This will open the media gallery, and we can pick something else. Let's have this sparrow. Why not? This is completely off topic, but I do quite like the picture. And you can see that's just swapped out that image. So you don't need to delete anything. You can just change the image for a new one in exactly the same position. I can see there's a couple more questions coming in here. I'm going to build this thank you page out, and then I'll run through and answer those. So let's put you a little bit over there, just so we can see the whole sparrow. And now we want to set this up so that people can click on the button and download our lead magnet. So what I'm going to do is I'll click on the button. I'm going to change the change the text on it. We'll change that to download. I'll change the font. We'll make that Lato again. Actually, I might change the color as well, just to make it look a bit different. So should we have maybe a green? Yeah, why not? Now to make this, so to set up the lead magnet delivery, what we'll do is we'll click on the button settings and we want to change the mode. See, at the moment it's set to submit, which is our standard like submit a form option. We want to change it to download. And this lets you attach a file that people will be able to download when they click the button. So we'll just select the file. And again, you can see this is one that I've already got on there. Again, I'll just delete that just so I can show you how the upload process works. And this is, again, it's exactly the same as the media gallery. I'm just going to take the file from my computer. I'm going to drop it on there. And Convertri will host like any PDF file, doc file, like anything like that, and up to about 40 megabytes. So, yeah, we're going to select that. And that's all we need to do. Now, once we've published this page, when someone clicks on that button, they will automatically download that lead magnet. They'll get what they came for. And now all we need to do is publish the page. And to do that, oh no, one other thing we need to do first, we do need to check the mobile view just to see how that looks. And again, it's okay. This one I am going to edit a bit. Mostly because there's basically because there's just not very much content on this page. There's like the automatic version that Convertri makes is naturally going to be fairly small. But I would prefer it like just taking up a bit more of the screen. So yeah, something like that. So we'll save that and we'll publish the page. So to do that, we'll hit the publish button in the top right corner. And now we'll just type in the path we want it to be published on. So we automatically have the domain that we're working on, which in this case is neil.convertri.com. So let's go demo/thank you. And you can see it's filled in the whole path. So we'll hit publish. And the page is already live. So just like that, we hit view page. And it is now there live on the internet. So let's just have a look at some of those questions that are built up. VJ is asking, where do we check on Convertri to see what plan I'm on? You can do that from the dashboard. So if I just close the funnel editor, you see down here in the bottom left corner, there is a little orange tab. So this one says agency because this is the agency plan. And basically whatever that says, that is the tier that you've got. Dawn's asking, can I import a form instead of building it on the page? Yes, we've got a custom HTML element. If you've got a form that like you've already built in another program, or like if you're taking code from an autoresponder, something like that, then you can just take that code, you can stick it in a custom HTML element and just drop it on the page that way. And yes, the sparrow is my photo. Tassie's asking, is there a feature to modify images like flipping, blurring, and so on? We have some of that, but not very much. I will show you what we've got. I'll just go back into the. So if I select the image here, select image properties, and you see there's a range of effect options here. So there's stuff like blur, halftone. You can make it monochrome if you prefer. So you can have a nice black and white sparrow instead. So some options we have. but not all of them. We don't have stuff like flip or rotate or that kind of thing yet. They are on the list, but they're not stuff we've got into the app just yet. Barrington saying, I've got... Barrington's asking about adding a UET tag. That's about custom scripts. I will show you how to do that, but I'll wait until the end of the demo for doing that. Kevin's asking, is the original background image for the thank you page replaced, or do you just have the new one over the top? I know the old background image is replaced. Kevin is also asking, can we mask URLs in form buttons? We don't have like a URL cloaker built in, but if you have a cloaker that you want to use, then you should just be able to add that cloak link instead as a direct link on the button rather than through the download system, and that should work fine. Errol saying, when you publish, does it auto-generate the link, and can you customize it? Yeah, you can basically put whatever you want. So at the moment, because I put demo/thank you in here, that is what the link is. So neil.convertri.com/demo/thank you. If I put anything else in there, then the path will be different. So yeah, you can have whatever you want. Joe's saying, can you say more about how to choose a path? I think I just covered that in the last question. Obviously, if you want to know more, do let me know. Branislav is having trouble making pages. Best way is to start from the template collection. Again, I'll show you that once we've left this page. I'll show you around the template selector again, so you can have a look at that. C saying, will this be recorded? Yes, we are recording the call at the moment. There is also in the knowledge base, we also have the recording of the last one of these we did. That's already up there. So even if this recording goes wrong for some reason, then there's something up there you can watch. Laura's saying, what is the major difference between Convertri and Kick Pages? To be honest, I haven't used Kick Pages, so I'm finding that one quite hard to answer. The main selling points of Convertri, or the main reasons why people use Convertri rather than like another builder, first of all, is the page speed. We do a lot of optimizations on that. The pages that get built in Convertri are some of the fastest you'll find. And that matters an awful lot for conversions because it just reduces your bounce rate an awful lot. It means that people aren't getting bored waiting for your pages, especially on mobile. That makes a huge difference. And the other reason is that Convertri is, as you can see here, Convertri is entirely freeform. We can just pick that up and put it wherever you want. So you're not limited to just putting something in a row or a column, in a set point on the page. So the designs you can make, there's a lot more flexibility. You can be a lot more creative. You can really put your stamp on it far more than you can in most other builders. Like I say, I don't know how much that applies to Kick Pages because I haven't used the platform, but those are the main reasons why people really like Convertri. Ted's asking, is there a way for a viewer to print the screen automatically? We don't have that kind of thing in Convertri, but what I tend to use for this kind of thing is in fact, I've actually got it here. There is a Chrome extension plugin called Full Page Screen Capture. And that is, it's really, really good. Let me just see if there's let's try it on this one. So this is our pricing page at the moment. I'll click on the Full Page Screen Capture. It's basically just capturing everything that's here, and it'll turn it into a PDF you can download. that you can have as like a PDF or a ping. It's completely free, so you can just like Google that, install the extension, and then like do it that way. You can use that to create a PDF and then just print that out. Tassie's asking, can you have a custom domain? Yep, you can have custom domains on any account. We automatically give you like some Convertri.com subdomains, but you don't have to use them if you don't want. You can use your own domain. Errol saying, are there two Errols in here? There may well be. Yes, there are. So that'll be why the question from Errol did not come from you. So yes. Sarah's asking, do you offer other things like scheduling calendar? We don't have a scheduling calendar built in, no. Joe's asking, regarding the path, is there any advantage to using Convertri subdomains versus our own domain? To be honest, just like ease of setup is the only thing. You'll need to set up a custom domain if you want to use it, but like that's not hard. We've got guides on how to do it. Generally, to be honest, I recommend people use custom domains just because it looks more professional. Like if you've got a customer or a client, it just looks like more professional for them to be seeing like www.jur.com than jur.convertri.com. But like performance-wise, there's not really any difference. VJ is asking, how do we link this squeeze page to Sendio for follow-up mailings? I'm actually going to show you how to do the form setup now. And I'm going to be connecting it to MailChimp, but the process for Sendio is exactly the same. Tassie's saying this doesn't take the place of a fully developed sales page, right? So it's the funnel to the sales page on a company's main site if used that way. Yeah, certainly what we're building at the moment doesn't take the place of a sales page because it's just like a lead capture form. You can build full sales pages on Convertri should you want to. So for connecting the form, the first thing I'm going to do is I've clicked the little arrow button here, and I'm going to draw a link between the opt-in page and the thank you page. And that is so Convertri knows that people who sign up on this form, like we probably want them to go over here. So now we'll click on Edit Page. And now we are going to wire up this form. So first thing we'll do is we'll click on Forms up here. And we're going to choose our autoresponder. I'm going to use MailChimp because that's the autoresponder I've currently got integrated with this account. But you can see we've got a whole range of API integrations here. If the autoresponder you want to use isn't on the API list, then we also have a Zapier connection. And you can also use HTML forms. Like pretty much every autoresponder will provide an HTML form code as well. You can take that, you can use this option down here to enter that into Convertri, and then you can connect those fields to the Convertri form fields that way. But we are going to use the MailChimp API in this demo. So now I'm going to choose our standard sign-up list. And what we need to do now is we need to select the type of the different form fields. Now this is showing all the different form fields that we've got on the list. There's also email down here, which is a fixed field, and that means the type is set by the autoresponder and can't be changed. Which fields are fixed depends entirely on the autoresponder. Like some of them do it differently. Like some of them fix every form field type. Some only do like a few. MailChimp only fixes the email. So we're only connecting the first name field on this page. So on the type, we select first name here. And now what we're doing with the type is we're basically telling Convertri how to match the fields on the page here to the fields in the autoresponder, because we're going to give each of these fields a type as well. And what this is saying is that Convertri will look for the field on the page here. It'll find the one that has, say, the first name type. It'll then find which of these fields has the first name type. And so it'll take the information from that field and add it into that bit of the autoresponder. So this could be like, we don't have to call this first name if we wanted. We could use phone, as long as the first name field on the page, we also use phone for that. This is how you can connect, like you can also collect information which isn't on the standard type list. Like it doesn't matter precisely what it is, as long as the types do match. And I will show you on the other end of that in just a bit. First, we'll set up the thank you page. And because we've drawn the arrow and we've got that thank you page published already, Convertri has automatically filled in the URL here. Like you don't have to use this one, you can type in anything you want. But if you've got that arrow joined up and the thank you page already published, then Convertri will do it for you. So to show what I meant by the type on the field, if we go to form field settings, then you can see there is also here an assigned field type. And the ones in bold are the ones that have been set on the form. So we know that this one needs to be first name. We know that this one needs to be email. So Convertri can find the type that matches here to the type that matches up there and fill things in correctly. Now, we will save that and publish you at demo/opt-in. And once again, we can click View Page. And that is now live. And again, you saw how fast that loaded. And that is, again, that is now the entire lead funnel completed. Like you can go to this page. Like you can go to this page, it's live on the internet at the moment. You can fill in your details, hit submit. You'll get redirected to the thank you page. You'll be added to that list we set up. And that is all completely done. Okay, a few more questions. Marcy is saying, can you add the webinar and so on one-time fees after we're a member? I'm not entirely sure what you mean, sorry. Kevin's saying, wouldn't we lose Convertri's page speed optimization if we use a custom domain? No, it's all, your custom domain would still be hosted by us. It's still on our CDN. So you get all the same speed with a custom domain as you would get off a Convertri subdomain. Tassie's asking, can Convertri be used with Zapier? Yes. You see, Zapier is an option here. So yeah, all the form information can be sent to Zapier. Patricia's saying, can I demo an HTML form? I can show you how it starts. I don't have the code here to do the full process. but to get if we just clear the form we've got on here at the moment, to start it, if you click the HTML forms here, then if you click on New Form, you're on Form from HTML code. Enter the code that your autoresponder gives you in this box, and then click Create. And then, do we have any existing forms on this account? Oh, we do. Look at that. So let's say we want to. So these are forms which I've already set up. Well, it looks like there's one from MailerLite, some from SendLane. So let's go use there. So that's chosen one of the HTML forms which I'd already set up on this account. And then just as we did before, we'll go into the form field settings. Now we need to choose the form field just like we chose the type before. And that will now be wired up to that HTML form instead. Carol's saying, is it possible to remove the Convertri badge on the bottom? Yes, it is. I'll show you how to do this on the page. You can also do it as just like an account-wide setting, so you can just be like, for the entire account, you can either have it or not. But to do it page by page, if you go into the page menu, then in this visual styling tab, which is the one at the top, if you click the Powered by Convertri badge, then you can tell it to either do whatever the account tells it to do, or always show, and then you've got like the choice of where you want to put it, or just don't show. So if you click don't show and done, then that will then, like, you'll need to republish the page, but once you've done that, it'll come off the bottom. Oh, on me. Okay, Christina's saying, I use Mailvio, so I need to use the HTML. Yeah, well that should work like very similar to how I showed you then. Can you please show how I can create a form to sell a course and connect to Stripe? Can I do that here? I don't think I have Stripe integrated with this account, so I can't show you on this call. But I will see if I can get that set up and show possibly in the next webinar that we do. Joy's asking, how do you add a video? For that, if you go to the media box on the toolbar here, then you see there are a range of video options. Video is like our Convertri player. And you can take that and then you can add your video link. So you just take, this is for self-hosted video. So you can take a video that you've got on your hosting somewhere, you can stick it in here and that'll play through the player. You can also add a background video, which works the same way. And there are three, there's three like third-party players for Vimeo, Wistia, and YouTube. And so if you've got your video on any one of these platforms, you can drag those elements on. And then in element properties, say this is the Vimeo player. So go to Vimeo properties, you just enter the URL like of where you've got the video hosted, and that'll play there. Martin, when you showed Standard and Pro, there were two boxes which said one-time fee. Where are we? I'm sorry, I'm sure I'm just being stupid, but I'm not really sure what you're referring to. Sorry. Um, Laura's saying I'm a Dropmock member who provides the API, Convertri or Dropmock. I believe that's Dropmock in that case. Patricia's asking about Facebook pixel events. So the main way you get Facebook pixels onto the page, I think someone else asked this question as well. Barrington, I think it was you, although you were after the. I think Barrington was after the like the Bing tag manager, but the process is exactly the same. If we go to custom scripts here, then we can add the script in there. So basically, you enter your code and then save it, and that will put the script onto the page. So that will get the main Facebook pixel on. For the event code, I believe you'll probably need to attach that to the CSS of the button. That's not something I'm very well up on, but that is something you can do. You've got your custom styles. You can add your custom CSS to the page through here. So I'd need to to give you a firm answer. I would need to go and look at how Facebook adds event code, but I believe that is how you would add it. VJ is asking, how do you remove the Convertri badge from all pages in one go? Let me just show you. So I believe this is in the affiliate section. Yes, so in the affiliate section up here, you'll see this tick box saying show powered by Convertri badge on your pages. And if you don't want it, you can just untick that and then save. Again, you will need to republish the pages for the update to happen, but that will once you've done that, that will take the badge off the page. Worth noting, if you leave it on, it is an affiliate link. So if anyone clicks that powered by Convertri link, they come to Convertri, they sign up, you then get 30% of everything that they pay, for the rest of forever. So, or at least for as long as they've got their subscription. Dave's asking, do you know if MailVO will be a new API connection in the future? This is basically all our integrations like this are based on popularity. So obviously, the more people that are using the app, the more likely we are to integrate it. If you put in a feature request, just email support@convertri.com. Let them know. Ideally, call it something like feature request so they know what they're looking at. Put that in the subject line. Put in the details of what you want. In this case, just a MailVO API connection is probably enough. That will then go on our feature upvote board, and if that gets enough votes, then it'll get into the dev queue. Christina's asking, where is the cart form? So you can build a checkout again from the elements in the form elements. You've got a credit card input you can drag on there, and then just add in the extra text fields that you need for whatever information you want to capture. Though generally I prefer to use the modal checkout. I find that rather easier. And to do that, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. Yes, of course. So okay, we do have a product attached. Excellent. So first, let me. Yep, fine. So to do that, if we go to the button mode and change that to checkout, then we go to products, and choose our product there. And you can change all these, you can change all the different settings. I'm not going to run through all that because it will take a little while. But now when someone, like if you had Stripe integrated, like I don't have Stripe properly integrated on this account, so I'm not going to be able to show you it in action, unfortunately. But if we publish that page, we had Stripe integrated, if someone clicked that button, that would then pop up like our modal checkout, which just has the whole checkout built for you. And that, I find, is the rather easier way of doing it. Marcy is asking, is Avalara integrated with Convertri? We don't have an API connection. If they offer HTML forms, then you can integrate it that way. Dawn's asking, what if your video is a URL link? If you've got if you're hosting it on YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, if you've got the URL of where that's hosted, then you can use one of these elements here. Again, either Vimeo, Wistia, or YouTube, depending. For the background video or for our own video player, you will need like the MP4 link of the file. So that'll need to be hosted on S3, or if you've got the Pro plan, you can host it with us. But that will like let you take the hosted MP4 link and just add that to the video player. Marcy is asking, if your video is hosted elsewhere, can you still upload it? You can still get it onto a Convertri page. Again, most video platforms have embed codes. So if you add a custom HTML element to your page, which is this HTML element option down here. So again, you can put that on your page wherever you want. If you click Edit HTML, then take the embed code that your video platform has given you, enter that in there, hit save, and that will just import the code onto the page, and so you'll get your video that way. Joe's saying, would you consider adding some multi-page Quizlander templates for those of us that are doing those type of ads? I'm actually in the process of putting together a quick video on how to put together like a simple quiz opt-in with Convertri. I'm hoping that I'll probably be putting that in the Facebook group on Monday or Tuesday, I would guess. And that is, like, Convertri isn't really designed for like full-on quizzes, but you can build simple ones where basically what you're trying to do is like get the micro commitment before the opt-in, or to like get the consistency of people saying like, yes, I'm interested in this thing, and so you send them to the opt-in form that is pushing that as a benefit. So I'll be showing you how to do that. Let's in the process of making a video on that at the moment. Hopefully it'll be in the group early next week. Errol is asking, are members automatically affiliates? Yes. Like if you're on Convertri, then like if you're using that Powered by Convertri badge, then yeah, like you've got an affiliate link there. It should just work. Okay, sorry, Christine, I'm going a bit too fast. So for the modal checkout, if we click on like any button like that, then we want in the button settings, we want to set the mode to checkout like that. Then attach a product by going to the product bar up here. Like we can select our product from the ones that we've got set up in Convertri. And you can change the settings on the, like what the headings look like, whether you want to collect a phone number, that kind of thing. And then hit save and close. And that means when someone clicks the button on the page, that will pop up a modal checkout, which has the full thing, like the full checkout made for you. That is what I generally recommend people use because it's a lot easier to set up than on-page checkout. Yeah, that is unfortunately not something I can show you like the result of on this account because I don't have Stripe integrated. And if you don't have Stripe integrated, then obviously the checkout doesn't really work. But that is the process for doing it. VJ is saying, will the import funnel button be grayed out if your plan doesn't offer that feature? For the page importer, if you don't have that feature, then that box just won't be shown on your account. So it's not like it'll be there, but it won't work. Like it just won't be available. I can probably put that quiz video in the knowledge base as well, Jay. Yep. Where do you create a product listing? You do that. We'll just leave site. If we go to cart up here, then this will open like the products tab. So click new product, and you can set everything up here. So set in the name, the price. You can set an autoresponder on the product, which means that anytime someone buys the product, they automatically get added to the autoresponder. Same with the webinars. Like, so someone buys a product, they automatically get added to a follow-up webinar. And there's the webhook option as well. Dawn's asking if I can show how to set up a custom domain. I would need a domain ready bought for that. I don't have that available at the moment, but I can show you in the knowledge base. We have some guides on how to do it, and these are full like step-by-step guides that walk you through the process, and there's a video as well. So this is where you start the custom domains start here article, and that will explain like which of the options you should be using. And I will stick that link in the chat box so you can see it. And so all the tutorials are there. So I would just go to one of those and that will show you how to do it. Kevin's asking, does the import funnels feature allow us to import existing funnels from ClickFunnels and so on? Yeah, it's basically it's a page import feature. That means it will scan like any live page on the internet, and it will create a copy as well as it can in Convertri. It's not perfect, but it is pretty good. It'll generally need a bit of fixing up, but it'll be a lot faster than trying to rebuild from scratch. So if you're like shifting pages over, like from ClickFunnels to Convertri, then that's like a good feature to use. Unfortunately, Jerry, I cannot introduce you to the woman on the demo page. Many things I'm able to do, but that I'm afraid is not one of them. Okay, so we've done quite a lot of questions on this webinar already, but one thing I did want to show you as well was a few of the editor hacks that I find make putting together pages rather easier. So I'll run through that now. We have a page here ready done for this. And so this is a basic page for a cafe. It's fairly simple. So certainly looks all right. But if you it's the kind of thing that you would generally find in our template collection. And so this is often you'll want to adapt these in some way. And so what I'm going to show you is ways that this is stuff I do often when I'm building pages, but you can also use it for adapting templates, which is kind of like what we're doing at the moment. So first thing I'm going to do is switch on the element outlines. So again, so we can see how it's constructed. Now, one thing people will often want to do, like if they're working on a page like this, is be like, you know what, I don't actually want that section there anymore. So I'm going to get rid of that. And now they've got this like big gap on the page. And one thing that's quite useful for just closing that quickly, if you select the element immediately below it, so this section here, if we click this button, so remove white space above, we click that, everything will just snap up to the top. Now, I find that kind of thing particularly useful if I've got, like if I'm looking at a template and like, okay, I really want this top section, I want to use that as like an opt-in, but I don't want all the sales page stuff underneath it. So I just delete everything between that top section and the footer, click the footer, click remove white space, everything just snaps up, and like your page is just basically there. So that's something I find quite useful, and a lot of people don't realize that button's there. So that's certainly worth using. Something else happens a lot is maybe you want to add in a section. So obviously you can move things around on Convertri however you like. So like I can take that section, I can move it. But doing this for like every section down here, that would just be a pain. So a way to make this easy is to hold down the Shift button when you've got this selected. And then if you hold down Shift and drag at the same time, then not only does the section you've selected move, then everything below it also moves with it. So you've just opened up this section on the page that you can like add in something of your own. So we can put in something new there. And that works just as well if you want to drag upwards. A related option to this is if you don't really want to add a section, you just want to extend one, you can use the same keyboard shortcut. So if you hold down Shift, you can shift and resize rather than drag. And this section will get larger and everything below it will move down. So you've just opened a bit of space within the section without needing to rearrange your page. And again, that works going up just as well as down. So those are a few like neat little things for movement, but the thing that's really important for using Convertri easily is understanding how to turn or how to construct a page so that the desktop page just auto-mobilizes really nicely. Because if we have a look at the mobile version of this page, then you can see like it starts off okay, but then we get like down here where that's not really what you want. See, we have gallery, plenty of images, but again, down here, the headshots are separated from the testimonials. The social buttons are all in a row, or on a line, sorry. But we can make Convertri like do what we want automatically, because again, we can rearrange it if we want. Like we can do all that manually, but it's better if we don't have to. And the way to understand how to construct pages so that mobile just works, like really what you need to do is understand how Convertri is putting together the mobile page to begin with. So what it's doing is basically running like a tracer line along the page. So it starts at the top left, like works right and keeps going down. So the first element it finds is this one. And that's the first element it puts on the page. It travels across, next one it hits is this one. And that's the second element. Third element is the image. And so that goes third. And that's all fine. But then we get down here, and Convertri is hitting this one, and then it's hitting this one, and then it's hitting this one. And then it's hitting all these bits of text below it. And so that is the order it puts them on the page, which is obviously not what we want. So to fix that, what we need to do is put these in containers because Convertri understands containment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag on a panel. Make that a bit smaller like that. Now we will send it backward. So we've got the text on top. And so we can tell if a thing is contained because if we move the container, the stuff inside moves with it. And I'm going to do that for all three of these little sections. Send backward. Now I'm leaving the color background on here so you can see what I'm doing. You don't need to have the color background on. You can have these entirely transparent, so no one needs to know these containers are there. But now what Convertri is going to do, it's not going to hit this text box first. It's going to hit this container. And it's going to hit this container. It will mobilize everything inside the container, and then it'll move on to the next one. And that means that when we go to the mobile view, it's kept them all together, which is far more like what we want. It makes our lives an awful lot easier because it's just doing that automatically rather than us needing to rearrange it ourselves. In a similar way, down here, we'll just move these up a bit. And obviously you can line these nicely. I'm not really worried about that at the moment. But we make sure that the headshots are contained with the testimonials that they go with. We go to the mobile view and Convertri has automatically put them together. We can do a similar thing with these social icons, because obviously on the desktop view, they're in this horizontal line, which is far nicer. We don't really want them in a row like that. So to do that, we can stick another panel on. And send that backward. And again, this could be entirely transparent. I'm just leaving the gray color there so you can see more easily what I'm doing. And what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that this backing panel is less than 320 pixels. 320 pixels wide. So at the moment it's 239. And that's because 320 is Convertri's cutoff for realizing that actually this doesn't need to be reordered on the mobile view. It's narrow enough that you can just take it as it is, and put it on the page. So because this is only 239, we can go to mobile view and they are all nice and together in a row. If we make it wider, so make it more than 320, so now it's 401. We go to the mobile view, Convertri's needed to shrink the main container, and so it's reordered everything inside it. Go back, make it smaller. So again, 244. And we're back in a row again. And so by containing elements in this way, it makes the automatic mobile view far, far more like what you're actually going to want. And maybe you're still going to want to do some adjustments. I normally adjust the mobile view a little bit because I given I can make a mobile view that's specifically tailored to a mobile phone rather than just whatever's automatically generated. I like to do that. But with by constructing the containers like this, you don't really need to if you don't want to. So one final layout thing I want to show you before we just open to general questions, and I'll catch up on everything else that's in the chat as well, is the alignment options. because one of the things that Convertri or used to not do that well was, or the more blocky base builders did, was like spacing elements nicely on a page, because it's something that columns just naturally do for you. And to fix that, we added a load of alignment options in. Now, some of them you've seen already. I was using them to distribute elements nicely on that demo page we built. But it's also really useful for aligning stuff like across a page. So I'm just going to clone a couple of these elements. So we've got, say, 5 of them. So if I want like these 5 spaced nicely like across this page, what I'm going to do is add a container panel. And I'll do it across the width that I want, so it's about the middle. And again, we want you to go backward. And this one I will make transparent. So do that, we'll just take that slider all the way down. So again, at the moment, I've just kind of thrown these on the page. But with the container selected, with the alignment options, I'm going to go with middle align. And that lines everything up nicely to the middle of, or to the vertical middle of that element. Now I select horizontally contained. And there we go. They're just nicely, evenly laid out all the way across the page. If we turn off the element outlines, you can see how that would look. And that's just a really nice, easy way of distributing your elements across. You can do exactly the same thing with stuff like these testimonials. The same with these images. The same with these sections. So by using the alignment options that are available, and you've got a whole range of them, so you can left align, top align, right align. You can justify them within containers as well as doing them as like contained, so you've got spaces either side as well. It just makes laying elements out far, far easier. So let me just run through all the questions that have built up so far. So sorry, Joe. Errol says he has already claimed the woman on the page. All I can say is good luck, Errol. Kevin's asking, does Convertri have Control-Z functionality? Yep. Let's move that over there. Control-Z keyboard, that goes back in. You can also use the undo button in the top left. So click undo, goes back. Laura's saying, I have the standard version. Where do I find the free templates? So let me just leave the page. So I'm going to go back to the funnel screen because this is probably where you're starting. So there are 2 sets of templates, or 2 template types in Convertri. There are funnel templates and there are page templates. For funnel templates, if you are on the funnel screen, so it says like funnels at the top, you can see the list of funnels with the like domain name they're on underneath. If you click create new up here, then you'll see there are a range of funnels available. Now again, this is an agency account, which is one of the higher level ones. So not all of these like will be available on every account, but some of them will be. And the way to find them is exactly the same. So that is how you find the funnel templates. For the page templates, if we just go into, if we go into a funnel, so we can actually see the pages on the screen. If we click new page, then we get the page template selector. And again, and these ones, you can see which ones will be available on every account and which ones are restricted to high-level ones. As the higher level ones will have a little pro tag in the top right. So these templates here are on high level accounts, but everything above that, so from here upwards, all these are available on every Convertri account. And there's still quite a few to choose from. Dawn saying, can Convertri be used as a website? Yes, it can. In fact, our where are we? There we are. So yeah, our website here, convertri.com. You can see that this is actually built on Convertri. We did it all like on our own platform. You can see the little Powered by Convertri badge down the bottom. So everything you see on this page was built on Convertri. Christine is asking, what does the mobile view look like since they're greater than 320? 320 is just Convertri's. That's Convertri's cutoff for knowing it doesn't need to reorder the pages. What the mobile view looks like will be exactly what you see in the mobile editor. So if we go back into that page. So if we go onto the mobile view, like this is, I mean, it's undone all the changes I made to it now, but this is what the mobile view will look like. Kevin's asking, can we preview templates before selecting them? Yes, you can. Just go into the page selector again. Right, so all these templates here, you can see they have a little like preview button at the bottom. And if we, yeah, sure. Let's have a look at this one. Because this is one of those big sales pages that we were talking about earlier. So if we click the preview button, that opens the template in the preview window. You can look through the whole thing. And if you want to use it, then you click use this template, and that will just add it into your funnel. Greg's asking, what template is the Convertri website? That's actually a custom build. We didn't base that off one of the templates in the collection. Though, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure why we didn't make this one a template, but yeah, this is just built from scratch. Christian is saying, I meant because the panels you created were greater than 320, does it just shrink the panel to fit? Yes, it does. Okay, do we have any more questions, or have I missed anything? I know I've done quite a few on the way through this time, so there might not be that many left. So. Branislav's asking, are you going to show how to make a simple opt-in page? Well, I mean, what we built was like a simple opt-in page. If you would rather use a template, then you can go to the new page button up here. Let's find, yeah, you look like a fairly simple one. Yep. So fine, let's use this template. So this is like a simple opt-in page based on a template. You can change it however you want. So we can update the text. We can swap out the logo for another image. We can change the backing image. Blue tip. So again, like I say, you can update these like however you want to do it. Joel's saying there are templates that were here that he couldn't see on his list. Yeah, there are basically the pro account and agency accounts have the whole template collection. Standard and Charter have some templates, but not all of them. So presumably you have one of those account types. There's still quite a few templates available on those plans. I think there's like 50 page templates plus the funnels. The pro and agency collections are up to something like 400 now. Kevin's saying, does Convertri show a running total of and details for leads captured via autoresponder integration? You can see the stats per page. If we just leave that. So you can see down here, I mean, this is actually the thank you page we just made. If I click on the conversion details there, then, oh, wow, 94 visitors in that time and 28 people downloading the top tips PDF, like to prove it is working, I guess, which is absolutely fair. So you can see the number of visitors and the number of conversions off that. There is also a prospect section in the cart that records details of the users who have signed up, and it records whatever information you've collected. So there'll be like email addresses if you've like captured them. So yes, the information is there and available. Reggie's saying, will this be available for a replay? Yeah, we're recording the call at the moment. As long as the recording works fine, which I mean, like 99% of the time they do, then this will be going up in the knowledge base. There is also the last week's, a couple of weeks ago, the last one of these we ran. That replay is in the knowledge base already. If I can find the right category. There we are. So yeah, again, I'll just stick that into chat again. Yeah, that's available now. Cool. Thanks, Errol. I'm glad you found that helpful. Dawn's asking how many custom domains can be added to Convertri. That depends on what tier you've got. I believe the lowest is, I think the lowest is 10 and the highest is 100. But it will tell you on your in your account. If you go to the account screen up here, then it'll show you like how many domains you've got and how many are allowed. Marcia's asking, are these live trainings on every 2 weeks? Yep, that's the plan. It is like this is basically the same presentation every time because it's designed for like new starters. Like we have, like basically, the idea is that every 2 weeks, like we want the people who like either just coming back to Convertri or people who have just signed up, like to get a bit of a head start in using it. But obviously, like they're live every time, so you can ask me like different questions. You can ask me like whatever you want. I'm hoping to get more, I guess, advanced training on different topics, like some training on how to use the video options has been requested. I'd quite like to get one of those in. We're thinking of doing that on like odd weeks, so we run these presentations every 2 weeks and do like more occasional ones between that, depending on the demand. Greg's asking, once we create a page from scratch, can we save it as a template? You can't save it into the template selector, although actually no, I think that's a lie. It's a bit hacky, but yes, that is a thing you can do. Normally, if I was doing that, if I wanted to just take a page that I built before and use it somewhere else, I would do much as I did for this thank you page. I would click on the three dots up here. I would go to more and then clone. Like give it a new name, clone the funnel, and then if we go back to the three dots and more, you can select move to and move it to whatever funnel you want. That is the way I would do it. However, if you do want to add it to the template selector, then if you go to more and then share, then you'll get like a share link and a share code. And these both do the same thing, so it just depends what method you like best. The idea with these is that they're for sharing with your workmates, for sharing with your friends, and also for sharing with prospects. The share link up here, that also acts as an affiliate link. So if you share that with someone who doesn't have a Convertri account, they get taken to a sign up page. And once when they sign up through there, they get the template that you gave them in their account, and you get the commissions for that. But if you take that share code and you add it to your own account, then that will get added to the template selector. So yes, you can do it that way. Dawn saying, is auto webinars for live webinars or evergreen? It is for evergreen webinars. It's not designed for live broadcasts. That's why we're using GoToWebinar for this one. Tassie's saying, great to reintroduce myself and must get back to using it. It's really a quite good way of enhancing marketing and making it easier. Yes, we think so. I hope you get back into it. Irv is asking, is the connection of a private privacy policy page set up the same as a download file? You can do it that way if you want. You can create your privacy policy as a PDF and set it up as a download, just the way we saw there. You can also set it up as a hyperlink. So to do that, in fact, I've already got that one connected, so we'll just connect something else. Let's say we're turning this into a link. So we highlight the text that we want to be a link. And it doesn't have to be the whole thing. We could just do, say, that bit. Click the hyperlink button. And then just type in the link you want it to go to there. So in this case, that'd be obviously this is our privacy policy. You'll need to get your own because it's not like that one wouldn't really make sense for you. But like adding the link is the same way. And that is now a link. So someone can click that and that will just go to your privacy policy page. Dawn's asking, does Convertri have the free trial offer with the affiliate link? Yes, basically it goes to the it goes to the full price page. So I don't know if they still have that open or not. Yeah, so it's basically this is the offer that they will get. So they'll be able to choose from what plan they want to sign up for. They'll get the 14-day free trial, and you will get once they've started paying, you will get the 30% commissions. We've got a 30-day refund period, so that's basically paid after 30 days after their payment, we pay you, and then that just keeps going for however long they keep the subscription. Marcia is saying, should you have the privacy policy open in the new page? I definitely would. I generally do that because Like if you've got someone on an opt-in page like this, you don't really want them distracted. You don't want them sent somewhere else. And obviously, if they want to look at your privacy policy, they've got to see it. But you can set it to, like, if you click the opening a new tab option, like that will then open like in a fresh tab, so they won't be redirected away from your opt-in page. So they won't have to hit the back button and come back. They're less chance they're going to wander off. So yes, I definitely would. Patricia's asking, does the charter level offer webinars, Webinar Geo? Yeah, I believe we have a Webinar Geo API integration, and the API integrations are the same across every level. Dawn's asking, do you need an affiliate disclaimer on your links? It's fairly obvious, but it certainly can't hurt. I mean, often in these situations, like they're coming, like if you're like recommending someone for a platform that you've used or a template that you've built for them, then like you're often in contact anyway. So like you don't need a disclaimer because you've told them. Obviously, if you're doing it in a more like global fashion, if you've set up a website offering a load of templates and with the links below, then you should probably have some kind of affiliate disclaimer somewhere. Like it could be like probably around your privacy policy. Okay, I think I am at the end of the question list. Have I missed anything? Does anyone have anything else they would like to ask while I'm here? Yes, Patricia's asking, can you please direct me to how to add webinars in the knowledge base? Yep. So that's so anything like this, generally you want the category of forms and services. And there we are. We have an article on how to integrate Webinar Geo via URL. I'm not sure if we have one on the API or not, but oh yeah, there we are. So we've got, if you just type Webinar Geo into the search box at the top, then you'll see there's two options there. One is integrating Webinar Geo via URL, and one integrating Webinar Geo via API. So API is probably the one you want. I imagine that's like easier. It does say this feature is only available to Pro and agency users, but that is a lie because I know we took those. We gave all the APIs to everyone. So there we are, live updating. You get to see a bit in the back end. So yeah, there you are. That's all you need to do. Okay, Carol's got to go, but it's good to have you. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, does anyone have anything else? Dawn's asking, how do you set up link options to direct them to a different page? You can add text links just the way we showed with privacy policy. That works exactly the same way. You can also add links to elements. So with a button, you can go to button mode, change that to link, and just add the link in there. You can also make pretty much any element a link if you want. So if we just added a panel on the page, if we wanted to make clicking that panel go somewhere, then we can go to general properties. We can put a link in here. And yeah, let's have that open in a new tab. So save and publish that. And click that. And we're going to our link again in a new tab. So okay, I think we are done. Thank you very much for showing up, everyone. I hope you find it useful. Again, if there's any further questions, then feel free to ask them in the Facebook group. I'm in there quite a lot. Dan, one of our sport guys, he's also in there quite a lot. Like, we're around to help you out. But yeah, I hope you found it useful. Again, thank you for turning up. I'm sorry, Kevin. There you go. And yeah, so thanks so much for coming. We will be doing another one of these in a couple of weeks. If there is anything, if there's anything else that you want a training on, like I said, some people have mentioned video. Then again, put a comment in the group or email support. Then we'll see what we can do. I can't make any guarantees, but we will do our best to put together whatever it is you need. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone, and I will maybe see you in a couple of weeks.